Worse for you than a 3 a.m. chalupa binge, I'm Matt Straq. This is That Sports Show. Alright, so even with our gaping personality flaws, the TSS staff maintains relationships across the journalism world. Though approximately 65% of our show's writing is 90210 jokes, the people who work here are surprisingly credentialed, and we've got the connections to prove it. And to that end, we received a recommendation over the weekend, or maybe it was more of a command. We had to watch the Wimbledon's men's finals on Sunday, we were told by a staffer friend who works at Sports Illustrated, and of whose job we're in no way envious. She told us that Federer was going for a record-breaking 15th Grand Slam title, and he was playing against Andy Roddick, who lately has really upped his game. Now, the writer making this recommendation had two things working against her. First, she made it at a 4th of July party in Brooklyn, the kind of party where people wear mustaches ironically. And second, she is French. The last time we acted on the suggestion of a hipster or a French girl, we wound up at a Cat Power concert where we were asked to please stop screaming requests for Lynrd Skynrd songs.
Free bird! Free bird!
Fuck it.
Free bird!
But this was a tennis recommendation, and just like you can always trust a party recommend from an Aussie, you can usually be pretty certain that the French know their tennis. So the TSS staff skipped its usual Sunday morning Magic the Gathering tournament and clocked in for 4 hours of what turned out to be spectacular tennis. The match was great. It used to be that Roddick was known as the American with the killer serve, the swimsuit model girlfriend, and not much else, but on Sunday he proved that he's really rounded out his game, playing smart volleys and moving to the net easily while keeping the heat on Federer in what turned out to be the longest Wimbledon championship match ever played. And Federer was, well, he was Roger Federer. As usual, we played nearly flawless tennis, able to handle just about everything Roddick threw at him, excepting those blistering serves. And though the final set was a nail-biter, Roddick was playing catch-up the entire time, chasing Federer's lead. And when Federer finally claimed victory on a mishit by Roddick, the Swiss phenom issued a characteristic momentary flash of emotion before exhibiting the sportsmanship that he's also known for, congratulating Roddick on a well-played match and acknowledging the tennis legends who'd shown up for the historic win. Then there was the usual post-match interview with the new champion, which is when the TSS staff began to grow uncomfortable.
So you're an unbelievable guy, and you played unbelievable today. Unfortunately in tennis there has to be a winner sometimes, and today I was on the lucky side.
See, here's where the staff's hackles rise when it comes to Federer. He's perfect. He's gifted, he's hardworking, he's gracious in victory and defeat. He acknowledges the greats who have come before him, and he always takes the time to thank his fans and his family for their support. He has, to our knowledge, never shown up on Deadspin playing beer pong at a college party. Federer is apparently a perfectly crafted Swiss tennis machine who's nearly flawless on and off the court, which is exactly why he's tough to root for. Rooting for Roger Federer is like rooting for a good-looking rich kid with a trust fund and a stable home life. There's a high probability that he's going to do well whether you get behind him or not, and no one's going to be surprised when he succeeds. Given the nature of our show, trying to steal attention from monolithic media conglomerates and all, we just don't have it in us to root for the favorite. We like our stars with a couple of blemishes, please, or at least an identifiable personality, which is why, come U.S. Open time, the TSS staff is going to be backing the mercurial Spanish star Rafael Nadal. You know, if a French girl reminds us to tune in, that is. That's it for another episode of That Sports Show. As usual, be sure to visit our site, thatsportshow.com. Do us a favor, click on the demographic survey link. Tell us who you are and what you're interested in. Until then, I'm Matt Straq. We'll see you next time.